Hello, everybody. My name is Roger Lee, and I'm proud to be the Assistant Director of Pre-College Engagement at Drexel University's Charles D. Close School of Entrepreneurship. And as you all know, we are the nation's first freestanding degree-granting school of entrepreneurship at a university. And we offer a number of pre-college programming opportunities for students, middle school and as old as high school. So we're really happy that you're here today. What this is our Startup Summer Camp final presentations. And students have worked really hard this week. They were tasked with really a difficult challenge of coming up with a new startup venture idea and pitching it to a community of folks, a supportive, loving community, which is all of you. So thank you for being here. But again, this is a lot for anybody to do over a 4 to 5 day period, and especially for middle schoolers and high schoolers who are on summer vacation. So I just like to always start by saying how impressed I am by the students and their hard work and their dedication. Again, special thank you to Dean Donna DeCarolis for your leadership and the support of these programs. Antonis Asparkis, Chuck Sacco, Damian Salas, the Univest team, everybody who's here today. We cannot do it without you guys. So without further ado, I would love to start today's presentations. And before we do that, I want the audience to understand what we did this week. Because again, we spent 5 days together on Zoom, 8 to 10 hours total, which is not a lot. So let's jump right in. Students, Sanjay, I would love to hear from you. What did we do on day 1 of camp?
So on the first day of camp, we really got to understand and dive into straight up what is an entrepreneur. We got a couple definitions. We got to get a full understanding, and as a group, we came up with a definition together of what an entrepreneur was with our understanding.
Thank you, Sanjay. Absolutely. We really did look at the differences between the closed schools definition. I came up with my own, and then we came up with one as a camp together, which was really fun. And the students really emphasized that an entrepreneur is somebody who's not afraid to take risk, to work in teams and really make a difference in the communities they serve. So I was proud that they came up with that as a team. So thanks again, Sanjay. Gursarat, how did we spend days 2 and 3?
So on days 2 and 3, we learned how to write problem statements and solution statements. We learned to include data in our problem statements and then explain why our solution was the best solution. We also learned about monetization and managerial strategies, so nonprofits and how they make money versus for-profit businesses and the different kinds. And then we also used all that information to make our presentations that we'll be presenting today.
Yes, we did. Thank you for remembering all that and sharing that. Also, a special shout out to Gursarat. She was part of the winning team in this year's Rising Starters pitch competition. So it was really awesome to get to work with Gursarat again, but now in this new context. Thanks. And last but not least, Bibi, what did we do yesterday?
It's Bibi.
Bibi.
Yeah. But we did yesterday is basically we went over, and for life work on the 3rd day, we had to add 2 more slides. So once we completed those, we kind of went over semi-finalizing it, giving feedback for everyone, really like getting confidence in the slide.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Bibi. And again, thank you for being here. Yeah, Bibi is our one and only middle schooler in this camp. And she did an amazing job. Really, really excellent work, and you'll get to hear momentarily. Great. Also, would love to ask folks too, if you guys are signing in, if you could please mute your screens would be great. I'll try to do it as well. Wonderful. So I would love now for us to jump right in. Again, the students have a lot of rehearsal, right? They received coaching from me and each other yesterday. That was a unique feature of this year's camp. So I don't want to be the only one coaching your pitch. I want other students to give you feedback as well. And there was a lot of peer-to-peer interaction and some really, really great advice that came out of the students. So without further ado, we will get started. And our first presenter of the day is Bibi.
Okay, let me share my screen. There we go. All right, so the safety crate by me, Bibi. Okay, so imagine it's just like normal. It's okay, so you're coming back late at night from a overnight shift, right? You're in an unknown neighborhood, but it's nice, it's quiet, you're all alone. But then, you notice someone following you. Probably they seem more taller than you and maybe stronger than you, can't really tell. But they're following you, and you don't really think much of it until you keep noticing they're following you to your house. So your brain, is panicking as the natural response is. You're thinking on what should you do? Who should you call? What happens if they try to grab me? But it's too late, and it's too late. You're gone. You're like, poof, you're in Mars now, never to be seen again. Now, that's where our problem comes in. Yeah, it's getting really dangerous being outside alone, and we're not getting that much aware of it. Studies shown that every 62 seconds, someone's being assaulted, kidnapped, etc., and every 9 minutes, it would be a child. Now, we need to stop this. This is a really big deal. But how can we do that? There's a solution. I call it the safety cake.
I need a good. First, I need for the magazine, and now I need it for.
Excuse me?
And BB, you're good. I think somebody had entered unmuted. If you guys are entering, if you could please mute.
Yeah.
Camera.
Okay. So I call it the safety crate. Blah. This crate will provide and educate on self-defense. It includes emergency numbers, weapons, tools, and the proper way to use them. It can help save lives and access knowledge all over the world easily and safely. For the family or the management structures, our structure is pretty small. I don't really need giant warehouse factory. It's having 3 members with an additional company advisor. A company advisor is, say, we're getting sponsored, which I'll talk about for monetization. But so the company that the crate is getting sponsored by will send an advisor, someone to pick and specialize the crate for their own benefit for the company. So 2 people can work on packaging, while 1 other person can work on media, social media, etc. Monetization. So the income value of package sales, everything, shipping, packaging, etc., would be 20K. Sponsorships would be 10K. The expense for the team would be 6K, and the production, including shipping, because I know that also costs additional money. Making the package, getting the tools, will probably be in around 10,000. So in general, the profit would be around 14,000. Now that's really it. Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, BB. So this is a great time for the audience to chime in with any questions or thoughts about what BB just pitched. Somebody click like already in the clap, which is great, using the clapping emoji. Yeah, feel free to unmute. You can use the chat, you can come on screen, but any comments for BB? So I see some nice stuff in the chat for you, BB. Yep, nice work. You got a great job.
Hey, Roger. Hey, everyone. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I'm having some serious problems with internet. Can you guys see me? Some of you are frozen, but I hope you can see me or hear me. But that was a great presentation, Phoebe. I like the financial stuff that you presented there at the very end. I thought that was really, really, really wise to go ahead and do those projections and those calculations. Really nice job. And everybody, hi, I'm Professor Salas, by the way, and I'm with the Close School. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Partnerships. I'm also on the faculty, and it's just great to see everybody. And congratulations on a wonderful camp.
Thank you so much, Damien. Yeah, and BB, you did a really great job, and I'm really proud of how far you came with this and the monetization, right? That was probably the biggest challenge with this particular project. And we were so passionate about the idea, and we were like, let's get these kids out there, kids need it right now. And we were trying to figure out what's the best way to actually, create revenue. And this camp really focuses heavily on monetization, meaning that it's not just about a profit, but how do you make any money at what you're doing, right? How do you create money from your solution? And I think a lot of students were trying to figure that out. So it's really nice to see how it ended up for you. And again, BB's our one and only middle school student and did an incredible job. So great work. Awesome. So we will move right along to Chase, who I think I see you on the chat, Chase Newbold.
Yep, I'll share my screen. All right. So, hi, I'm Chase Newbold, and I'm here to address an ongoing issue that I've noticed during my high school years. People who either attend high school, who want to attend or attend, struggle with not knowing when games are being played. Imagine a sports notification-based app fulfilling your every need, so there will never be another problem, another obstacle you have to overcome. My problem statement is people who attend high school sports games aren't being notified. My solution is a simple notification app for students, parents, and others. The reason for this is people either don't know when and where games are being played, which lessens the spectators for each game and causes problems with pickups and drop-offs for students and parents. My qualification is I have a background in design work and I have the ability to form a team. Some data, I've been at SCH for 4 years now, and I've seen this recurring problem every year. There are 26,000 high schools in the US that are possibly going through the same problem I'm going through. The legal structure would be a for-profit partnership business because I need to expand, meaning for profit, I need to expand, and a partnership because I need a team. I can't do this alone. The business structure would be a co-founder because I need someone who has the ability to develop software, and below would be technology developers, and below that would be employees. My income model would be a standard subscription and premium subscription based app. And there are 9 months in a high school, in high school, and there are around 1,000 students per school, and the subscription cost would be $4.99, and the gross value for 9 months would be $45,000. And that's everything.
Great job, Chase.
Any questions?
Tons of questions, Chase. I mean, just that one right there, that slide right there. That's great. And there's a lot of information that you just presented, which is great. I mean, really good information, right? I mean, so the problem though, I mean, really, there's no way for a high school student right now to get notified about sports events.
There is, but they're emails. So there's an email chain where people get emails, but everyone has their phone, and it's a little easier to get notifications on your phone rather than just an email.
It's great. I mean, that's a great problem. I mean, you've identified a problem, right? Yeah, this is well done. So the customers would be schools as well, right? Is that what you're saying here?
So parents, students, and others who are in the community who don't have the information to find a sports game, a local sports game, and would like the knowledge to be able to find one.
This is good stuff.
Thank you.
This is great. Yeah, Dean DeCarlos.
Hi, Chase. That was wonderful. Again, apologies. I'm trying not to get frozen, so I have my video off, but great job. My children are older now, but it was one of the things you mentioned was having parents know, when games start and end. I think that's really a critical factor. I think I heard you say that. The other thing that's really critical. The other thing about this model is you could probably extend it to things outside of sports, sort of school activities, other clubs that are meeting and things like this. So this is really a very powerful idea. And if you intend to run with this, and I know that Professor Sacco and Professor Herzog and Professor Salas that are on this call, at the college level, there are a lot of apps that try and do this for colleges, but we haven't seen one for high school. So this is something interesting if you'd like to pursue it. So just congratulations, Chase. You've identified a really interesting problem.
Thank you.
Love it. And there are a few hands raised. See, Antonis.
Hi, Chase. Congratulations on your pitch. I just have one question. Just out of personal interest, could you see this app or this technology working with, like, let's say Google Maps like building off Dean DeCarlis's comment about the parent, is there a way you could see this app saying like, get me there? You could push the button and it would give you driving directions and so forth.
Yes, I've thought of that, and I could post it. So it would be who's playing, where they're playing, what time, and you could also use directions, and you could find an easy link to find directions to the game. And yeah,
Fantastic. Congratulations again. And congratulations to everyone presenting today.
Thank you so much. That's a really good feedback too. Yeah, Melissa Rivera had a really great point. She said this could be great for like carpooling, right? Almost like a ride share, but getting families to work together and getting students to where they need to be. I love that idea, Melissa. Now, Chuck had a great question for you too, Chase. He asked if you ever led a team before.
sorry, what'd you say?
Yeah, so Chuck Sacco, he's wondering if you've ever led a team.
Yes, I have. At SCH, I started a sweatshirt that you can inflate, and it would be, so the hoodie would be a pillow and you can inflate it. And there was about 6 people on that team. And so I have my background in team building.
Yeah. And you play sports, you understand all the.
Yeah.
So
Yep, I played 3 sports.
This is awesome. Yeah, I'm very proud of all these students, and Chase, I think you did a really great job at just identifying a problem. I remember just day one, you kind of came in very, determined to solve this particular issue, and I love that. So it's cool seeing how you took it to a deeper level all throughout this week. Great work. So next up, we're going to transition over to Mateo. And I'll be sharing Mateo's screen for the day.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mateo Drake Cortez.
Let's present. Oh, the floor is yours.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Mateo Drake Cortez. I attend Academy at Palumbo. I'm going into my junior year right now. And I'm here to show you a product that maybe you would like to invest in one day. So my problem, from where the solution is going to come from, is the bad streets of Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia. I've grown up there since I was born, lived in the same house, specifically South Philadelphia. And our streets are bad. It's common knowledge if you live in Philly. Streets are pretty bad. There's potholes everywhere. My street is horrible. The street next to it is horrible. And it's because of the cars. It's because of the weather. It's not maintained. It's dangerous. It causes car problems. And as you can see in that top or that bottom right photo, it puts dents in your wheels that then you gotta go to the mechanic, and then it's a whole problem. Bag of worms you don't want to open, right? It's also dangerous for bikers. I know I've definitely fallen because of a pothole. It happens, it sucks. And I want it fixed, actually. I want it fixed. Next slide. So this is where our solution comes in. I would like to introduce Nice Roads, Inc., a company run specifically for fixing and maintaining the roads in Philadelphia. We would pull contracts from the city and places and maybe private companies that would like their roads around them maintained well. And we know it's the city's job, but they have a lot on their hands. They're managing a city. So a private company helping them that they could make contracts for, they would jump at us. They would jump for our idea, just focusing on roads, keeping the roads clean. And roads are the essential of a city. I mean, we bring everybody, we transport everything, right? So it only makes sense to keep your streets clean, nice, and maintained. Next. Yeah. All right, management. So what I'm thinking is we got the CEO, and then we've got we've got warehouses in different areas, different zip codes with trucks and they load up. That's where they get all their materials, you know, asphalt, concrete, tools, etc. And then they would go out every day in those trucks, and you bring those materials and you fix the potholes, fix the roads. If they're all fixed in the area that they're supposed to maintain, then you put some whatever to maintain the roads, right? You could probably put concrete when it's snowing. They can plow it, and they can put on different chemicals to maintain it, so there's no cracks, less cracks when it freezes. We would buy from wholesale spots, buy in bulk for our multiple warehouses instead of buying from retail. That would save us money because retail rises up the prices, right? So we would have teams, and then those teams would go to the manager, and then the manager can write it up all the way up to me. And it's pretty basic, as you can see in that triangle of management. Next slide, please. All right, so monetization. So we would be looking at contracts mostly, strictly contracts, and we would start small. So we would start from maybe schools, getting the school roads nice and smooth and maintained, and then we could go on to private companies and communities, and then we'll also build a relationship with the city, and they'll learn to trust us, and maybe we'll get bigger contracts. You know, we'll start with small contracts. We get this amount of, but then we get the big contracts for the 5 year of maintaining this area for a good amount of money that we request, right? Next slide. And then these are the potential investors. There's more, but we got City of Philadelphia. Specifically, they would jump at this idea because we're a private company helping one of their big issues in the city. So it would be easier for us to receive money from them and help them than using their own people. And, you know, maybe they don't get too much funding there, but they could hand some off to us in contracts, and we can help them. Cities, citizens, and communities. So maybe if a community, specifically a gated high wealth community, if they wanted their roads maintained, we could help them with that. We just make them up a contract, and then we can maintain the roads. Come on a schedule. Large homeowners, you know, they've got large homes. They would like to keep their pavement or their streets nice and smooth. Business buildings and retail stores, we could also make contracts for, because they want to keep their roads clean. They want nice customers to roll in with their Benz and get a nice meal from them or whatever, you know. And then private and public parks would also love to jump at the idea that all the roads are smooth around them and no accidents and less sues. So yeah, that's it. My name is Mateo. Thank you so much for listening. Oh, and if you have any questions, please.
Thank you so much, Mateo. Any questions or comments? I have one for you. And I kind of asked you this during camp, but I'll definitely ask again. Right, how difficult is it to navigate the current situation of these streets, right? Whether you're just like on a bike or, you know, any kind of skateboard situation, what's that like?
I can't go far. I have about maybe 3 streets around me that are smooth, but then after that, it even gets bumpy and then all around me. So it's pretty bad. It's really bad, actually. Yeah. I mean, we've got potholes next to me that have been there for like since last summer. I remember it's sunk in and it never gets fixed. And the city of Philadelphia is very slow at it, and because they got so much on their plate, you know. So I think a private company would only help this situation.
I love it. I totally agree.
Yeah, totally. I think we can all agree, right? I mean, for sure, they are bad news. Mateo, you've got a really interesting solution here, and I apologize. I'm looking for you, Mateo. But you know, it'll be interesting, with this type of business that you're, trying to pursue here, what those relationships with the city will be, right? I mean, to tell the city that they're not doing something correct and a private entity can come in and do something that's better, there's no doubt about it that you would be able to provide a better solution than what the city's doing right now. But that navigation will be interesting, and how you navigate those conversations with the city officials will be absolutely critical to getting this business really functioning and really off the ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Mateo, yep.
I get that it would some pursuing would be needed, but we're not really there to take their business. We're not really to take. We're here to help. We want to help the community.
Absolutely.
I want to help the city the most because it's where I'm from. I would like to give back. Maybe.
100%. That commercialization strategy for that commercialization, meaning getting that product developed and getting it to the city, or even the private entities that you mentioned, that could be a very interesting commercialization strategy for yourself on that angle, right? Just go straight to the customer, meaning the residents or the business owners. I think you mentioned that in your presentation. That could be a very interesting way of getting this your products, your business straight to the market. So yeah, very interesting stuff.
I love this. A few really good questions too coming out in the chat here. Chuck Sacco would like to know, in which part of the city would you start?
I would start. Now, this may sound a bit selfish, but I would start in South Philly, where I live. It would only make sense to fix up my neighborhood first,
Yeah.
and then maybe I'll do yours, and then we'll grow from there. This business can only grow. There's unlimited streets, so there's unlimited opportunity. That's the way I'm thinking.
Absolutely. And nothing wrong with starting straight at home. And then Liza Herzog has a great question as well. She wants to know, have you ever reached out to the streets department?
I have not. I looked up their website earlier, and you can request and you can call, but we've had a pothole right on my street, and we've called, and it's taken a bit of time. I mean, 3 months, I'm pretty sure. All these cars have to go around it, or if you go in it, then you're screwed. And you gotta fix your car, and it's only but problems. These potholes are nothing but problems, and I want to help solve it.
I love it. And Antonis, I see you had a question, comment.
Oh, just a comment. As long as West Philly is next on the list, I'm sold.
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you so much for this, Mateo. Great presentation. I'm very proud of you too. Yeah, yesterday I know you were in and out of class, and yet you still delivered an excellent presentation. So you should be very proud. Awesome. We're going to move along to Delaney.
Should I share my screen?
Sure. Delaney is another Springside Chestnut Hill student, along with Chase.
Okay, hi everyone. So I'm going to start off my presentation by asking you to close your eyes and imagine this scenario. So you look up at your family standing over you in the bathroom, their faces filled with concern. Your mom's panicked voice bounced off the tiled walls as she harassed the restaurant manager about the possible ingredients in the steak salad. Just 2 hours earlier, you triple-checked the list of ingredients with the waiter, who reviewed and confirmed an all clear with the chef. Now you lie on the cold floor, curled up with intense pain in the midst of chaos, as your dad fumbles on the phone to call for an ambulance. Unfortunately, this is not a made-up scene, but a real situation that happened to me only a few months ago. My name is Delaney Brody, and I suffer with life-threatening food allergies to eggs and all nuts. So I'm definitely not the only person that has this problem. In fact, globally, 220 to 250 million people suffer from food allergies. It is estimated that 5 people die each day in the US just from food allergies, and the number one cause of death being from forgetting their EpiPen. Conversely, people always have their cell phone with them. At this point in time, 97% of people in the US have a phone and 70% of people worldwide have one. Therefore, my solution to food allergies is combining the EpiPhone and a phone and attaching an insulated epinephrine carrying case to the back of a cell phone so that people never forget their EpiPen again. As a result of the EpiPhone, this product will save lives. So I've started to design a few prototypes. I wanted to do patterns that are both trendy and safe, and they appeal to audiences of all ages. So here's some more designs. I also actually just got back my first prototype from a manufacturer in Hong Kong. This one's very simple, just all white. I'm not sure if you can see, and then it says like EpiPhone right here. And then for my marketing and distribution model, I actually attended the FAIR Allergy Conference in 2019 and learned a lot about allergy research and awareness. This is why I want to donate a portion of my potential revenues for my product to FAIR for continued allergy research, awareness, education, and prevention. As part of my marketing plan, I've reached out to the connections I made at this conference to get assistance in spreading the word about my product. I've recently been asked to become a brand ambassador on the Spoken app, which is the #1 allergy app dedicated to safe eating and travel for allergy sufferers. I'm working with the owner, Susie Helquist, to showcase my product when it is finished and recommend it to allergy sufferers worldwide. And then I'm also planning on making an Instagram account and website to further market and sell my product. And then lastly, I've reached out to doctors and allergists who have also agreed to sell the EpiPhone at their office. So now for the monetization slide, as you can see from this chart, the total launch cost will be around $7,500. But if I sell all 1,000 EpiPhones, I will make back $15,000 for a total profit of $7,500. And then I've also chosen to be an LLC business because I know the medical field can be kind of tricky. So I want to separate myself from the business in case I were to somehow get sued. And then for the EpiPhone team, right now it will consist of me, obviously, Susie Helquist, who, as I said, owns the Spoken app and has agreed to sell and market my product. My allergist, Dr. Becker, who is just one of the many allergists and doctors who agreed to sell my product, and the manufacturers in Hong Kong who are actually making the EpiPhone. So again, my name is Delaney Brody. Thank you so much for listening to my pitch. I will now open the floor for any questions.
Excellent job, Delaney. And your intro, I love it. I just love the totally picture of happiness. You're getting a lot of great feedback and support in the chat. I'm sure you can see this is really wonderful. Yeah, any questions or thoughts for Delaney to help her kind of take this up a notch? Nice. Yeah, Dean DeCarlos wants to know, do you have a patent, some protection from copycats? That's a wonderful question.
Yeah, I actually did just start looking into the patent world. So I don't have one right now, but I'm definitely planning on getting one, I think.
That's a great idea. Hey, Delaney, I have a question for you too. I know that you've been working on this for quite some time. So what has the experience been like going from like your initial, allergic reaction experience, right, to getting where you are today? What has that entrepreneurial journey been like for you?
Yeah, it's been great. Actually, as I said, I went to the fair allergy conference where I like got the idea for the Epiphone, and then I switched schools to SCH, and ironically, I had to take the CEL class, which is like an entrepreneurship class. So it worked out perfect that like this could be my like idea for the class. So then I've been working on it. It's been going well, and then I'm just taking this course because I wanted to kind of continue it like over the summer and work on it outside of class too.
I love it. And congratulations on your brand ambassadorship. That's major.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love this. Well, excellent. Really good feedback, Delaney, that you're getting still in the comments. This is incredible. Great job. And we'd love to move on to Sal and Sanjit, and they are a one and only duo. So this will be really exciting to witness.
All right, can everybody see our screen?
Yes.
All right, let's get started. Hello, I'm Sanjay Bajpai and my partner is Salvatore Versa, two 15-year-old entrepreneurs, and we are the vice president and vice president of the nonprofit organization, The Educated Wallet. Now, you may be wondering, how in the world can a wallet be educated? Well, what we do here every day is enlighten and educate the youth in our classes on how they can set themselves up for a successful financial future and learn the necessary life skills needed to thrive in this world. Now, before we start, picture this. You are, for example, a college student. You've taken out loans from your school and you're graduating this year. Debt is piling up to your ears as you are getting ready to set on a journey outside of your school, and you have not been taught proper financial literacy in school. You're extremely nervous for this step. This is a huge problem in the United States. To continue, with a show of hands in the audience, how many adults here prior to turning 18 were anxious about paying taxes for the first time? Exactly. We can see a lot of hands raised, as it is a common problem in the United States. The high schools do not teach the proper life skills to students needed to live on their own in college and post-graduation. 57% of Americans wish that they would have learned the skills how to manage money and how to use a budget. And on this slide, as we can see, 43% of millennials have a bad credit score in the United States, according to MarketWatch, which is almost half of millennials having a bad credit score, which is a huge problem for the lives of our young adults, as 89% of Americans wish that they learned real life skills in high school. But luckily, the Educated Wallet has a solution to this big problem so that high school students can be set up for a successful financial future.
The solution. As we have reviewed this problem that many of you in the audience have faced, we will gliding on into our next part, which is our successful solution to this terrible current issue, which is not talked about enough in the United States. Every day with our team, we are working towards stopping this huge problem. We propose extracurricular activities such as summer camps, virtual seminars, and classes. With future investments, we will provide more classes worldwide.
Monetization. Our business is a nonprofit organization because this is a detrimental problem that Salvatore and I have faced in our own lives. We're committed to empowering youth and putting our money not into revenue for our pocket money, but to spread awareness on this topic is at the top of our company's priority. So we will be planning to have classes which are $500 per person per week, which is about $15,000 monthly for us. Summer camps, $300. Last 2 weeks, 30 people would equal around $9,000. And virtual classes, $600 per person per week, about 18 grand monthly. And our main source of profit as a nonprofit 501c business is grants and donations. 80% of our profit goes back into the research and development for our program, and the other 20% is used to manage and funds of the business, as we get $9,400 in net profit.
Last but not least, we would like you to meet our staff. Christine McIntyre, who is our public relations manager, will also monitor social trends. Michael Rudolph, who is a senior event coordinator, who oversees and coordinates activities that would have been in effect on the target demographic young adults. And Lauren Granger, our financial advisor and head of donations, who also oversees and manages the company's finances and our main source of profit, which is donation.
Thank you all so much for listening to our presentation, and feel free to ask us any questions.
Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you for being a duo. This was, on day one, we did our ideation exercise, and it was just very apparent to me and the rest of the group that Sanjay and Sal had pretty much the same idea. They were just going about it in two different ways. And I know that Sanjay was very, very determined to really launch this, and he still is. So I said, this will be a great, taste for you to really work with somebody else, to have a team member, to have a co-founder, and really collaborate in that way. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out, guys. Congrats. Yeah, I totally agree. Jennifer Anderson, yep, a nonprofit makes a lot of sense for this venture. And Chuck's Echo, I would like to know, what is your reason for being a nonprofit as opposed to a for-profit?
Well, I mean, as we are both high school students and we've faced this problem in our lives, we feel that being for-profit would not completely serve our cause, as what our main, the main thing that we're trying to solve is obviously the lack of real life skills taught in schools. And I feel that as in the monetization strategy, we put back 80% into research and development in our program. So if we're able to put so much money back in, it could spread as much awareness on this topic.
I like that. We talked about too at the close school how we teach life skills, through our classes, life strategies and ready, set, fail and things of that nature. But it just became so apparent that this is needed definitely at the high school level and maybe even the middle school level. So it's refreshing to see, high school students say, hey, we want this and we need this right now. I have a question for you guys, for Sal or Sanjit. Say that you did talk to a principal, right, or a superintendent, and they gave you the green light to go ahead and do like a pilot program for your school. What would that potentially look like?
So we would plan to bring in guest speakers, as the 20% is going back into our team. So we would bring in guest speakers who can talk about, as we're in this class today, entrepreneurship, real life skills, financial literacy, etc. And they could come in and talk to the students as like a seminar in person, so they can answer any questions and really motivate students on learning more. And we would even try to, on a day-to-day basis, try and put in teachers into each school so that on a day-to-day basis, out of the 9-period schedule, one class can be put to real life skills and preparing our youth for the future.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Enrico Drake Cortez has a wonderful question. How will you make the curriculum engaging and relevant for young students?
So our target demographic is high school students, and as they're preparing and the schools are preparing to send them off onto their next journey of their life, which is college and so forth. We plan to make it engaging by planning out activities for the students and like fairs and so on about like different, it's not even just financial literacy, but there's different job opportunities. Like for example, as I stated before, entrepreneurship. It's something that's very rewarding for people that have the who are fortunate enough to know of what the mindset of an entrepreneur is. And yeah.
Thank you for that. And Reiko had a nice follow-up question as well about the fees, right? The fees were a little bit high. In her opinion, she wants to know, how did you guys come up with your pricing structure?
So we came up with our pricing structure as there are going to be like huge classes, and we're going to be having guest speakers. So we are going to be changing around our monetization strategies and our pricings for different times, so it's as affordable as possible. But as our starting prices, this is how it's going to go. Probably for a public opening, we're going to do like a bigger presentation to schools, and it's obviously going to be probably for we're probably going to do it for free so that we can get our name out there and they can see what kind of help we're doing for the community. But we priced it because of the activities that we do in each of our classes and the amount of time that we have in our seminars.
Oh, excellent. That's a big part of the pitch too, right? We talked about being ready to negotiate and really defend your pricing. It's an excellent job, guys. And you might have your first gig, right? So Cade's mom, Jennifer Anderson, she says her nonprofit actually offers financial literacy for teens, and she kind of opened an invitation if you guys wanted to test something out with her students. So if I were you, I would definitely reach out to Miss Anderson and get some more information about that.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
Excellent job, guys. Thank you. Well, so we have two more presentations left. These have been incredible. I don't want them to end. But we are going to move on to Cade Anderson.
All right, hi. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. All right, can y'all see it? Is that good? Awesome. So an ink cartridge can cost as little as 23 cents to make, but up to $75 to buy. Now you may be asking yourself, yeah, but is this really a problem? Well, yes. As long as I can remember, my mother has worked in the business of helping others. Her most recent venture into the world of altruism has been becoming president of a nonprofit that helps low-income families find sustainable forms of food through agriculture. However, spending $700 monthly isn't just sustainable for a nonprofit. I'm Cade Anderson, and this is my pitch. Printer ink cartridges are one of the most expensive disposable products that the average American buys regularly, and with their market price being around 33,000% higher than the manufacturing price, they're starting to become unaffordable to the average consumer. Now, this affects many small businesses that do not have the funds or nonprofits who do not run for the sole purpose of profit gain. My solution is a system in which the ink feeds directly into the printer through an auto-pressurized device and a solenoid valve, cutting out the need for the technology and expenses required to operate ink cartridges, therefore cutting the cost to the consumer down by an estimated 2,380%. With the general knowledge in electrical and computer engineering, I believe I am qualified to solve this issue. Now, for a monetization platform, I chose an S corporation for the sole purpose of it being a limited liability protection. However, unlike an LLC, S corps work regardless of tax status. And for a monetization projection, if I sold a completely random number, 600 printers, then that would put the printer manufacturing price up to $7,200. But the printer market price would be around $120,000. The ink manufacturing price for 600 printers would be $60,000, but the market price $120,000, meaning the profit would be around $108,000, which is just a staggering number that I couldn't even begin to believe when I first saw it. And for our managerial structure, it'd be sort of a pyramid with a CEO at top, but representatives from each branch becoming like pretty much a representative for their branch. So small problems could go up to them, and if they decided they were big enough, they could put them up to the CEO or the top of the manager. So then every single problem could be looked at, no matter how small. And that's my pitch. Thank you very much.
Wow. It's come a long way, Cade, even since yesterday's coaching. I'm very, very streamlined now. And it was just very quick and succinct, but really inspiring too. I love your intro. And a shout out to your mom too. It's awesome. Any other thoughts from the group? Yeah, I agree with Dean DeCarolis. Watch out, Hewlett Packard. Yeah, I think you're about to really disrupt that industry in a great way. I have to tell you guys, Kay was so, and still obviously very, very passionate, but like the first day the monetization talk we had, and then, just talking about ideation as well. He was so passionate about this. And you really got me looking into it. Like even after camp, I was like looking more into the industry. I think he really has something amazing. Any other thoughts for Kate? Yeah, Gail will link. Yeah, I like that. Gail will link. Love it. Yeah, I guess, Kate, a good question for you. What was it like? Because you, again, kind of came in much like Chase, right? Certain students really did have a very firm idea on what they wanted to do early. What was it like kind of, evolving your idea throughout the week, going through these exercises, making edits to things?
Well, it was very, with the way that this camp was planned, it was actually pretty easy because it was divided up into a lot of sections so I could work on specific parts at specific times. But also when even after the camp, I would work on it. Like I printed out a ton of patents and I would look through them to see like exactly what part of the ink what part of the printer I could do. So it was just incredibly simple, incredibly easy, and just super straightforward to work with.
Love that. Oh yeah, okay, you can see your own, feedback you're getting, but it's really great. I think a lot of people agree how disruptive this is in a good way. And your mom had a question for you. That's awesome. What kind of people might you want to be on your advisory board?
I think people that have a good sense of not only fiscal responsibility and financial literacy, but even just senses such as like, how do we promote this? So people just basically have with common sense and business sense, they could all be very beneficial. Because Lord knows I do not.
That's awesome, right? We were talking about that too. A big part of entrepreneurship is knowing like, when do we bring in the experts so that we can focus on what we like, Yeah, but I could totally see you going out there promoting it, doing like TED Talks about this. Like, I feel you're very passionate about this industry. I think you could really educate the mass population on this. Well, amazing work. Thank you so much, Katie. And last but not least, we have our final presentation of the day, and that is from Gursarat.
I'm just gonna screen share. Hi everyone, my name is Gursarat Kaur, and I'm a senior at Springford High School, and I'm presenting stressfreestudying.com. Imagine this, you have a standardized test tomorrow, and you've been studying for 4 hours straight. Everyone's been stressing you out, telling you that this one test will determine what the rest of your life will look like. This is exactly what millions of high school students go through all the time. In 2019, researchers at Harvard's graduate school found that on average, students had 15% more cortisol in their systems the homeroom period before a standardized test than on days with no high-stakes testing. Standardized testing stress is a huge problem in today's world, and being a high school student myself, I can attest to the fact that students rarely have time to take a break, especially when they're studying for standardized tests. With this website, I aim to decrease this stress and allow for students to take care of their mental health while they're studying. The solution to this problem would be a website, stressfreestudying.com, that combines test-taking tips and practice sessions with built-in relaxation breaks that follow the Pomodoro technique to maximize efficiency and decrease stress. I chose this specific solution because the structure of the website will ensure that students take breaks while they study to allow them to focus on their mental health in conjunction with their test prep. I believe that I'm qualified to present this solution as I myself am a high school student who's taken several standardized tests and tried various different study techniques over the past year, and I truly can relate to the struggle of finding the right balance between studying and taking breaks. Because this organization will be a nonprofit, the main source of income will be grants and donations. As shown on the slide, we'll have a total income of $156,875, and our expenses will total to $151,875, which will result in a total profit of $5,000. As I previously mentioned, this organization will be a nonprofit because the main purpose of the website is to help high school students balance their academics and mental health, which I believe is something that all students should have access to, and they shouldn't necessarily have to worry about the cost of having access to these resources. In terms of the team behind this website, there will be a board of directors that will serve as department leaders or managers, and then a group of interns reporting to those leaders, and finally a group of volunteers. The board of directors will consist of me and other 4 to 5 paid professionals. The interns will be groups of 2 to 4 college students that will carry out the day-to-day functions required for the website. So for instance, we'll hire a professional paid software engineer to be on the board of directors, who will lead the group of interns that will actually be coding the website. The software engineer will ensure that everything is being done correctly and will resolve any conflicts that may arise within the departments. Lastly, we'll have a group of volunteers that will consist of high school students, and these volunteers are very important because they'll help us receive direct feedback on how our website is working and if it's easy to navigate and if it's actually decreasing stress levels. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you like my idea, and I'm open to any questions or feedback. Thank you.
This is awesome, Gersa. This is really cool seeing how it also got shrunken down, right? Compared to yesterday, you really put in some edits here, and I just think it's incredible. I think too, you didn't really go too deep into this, right? But you've helped your friends establish their own nonprofits. You won Rising Starters, or you did some amazing work with Junior Achievement. So, you know, you've been doing this for a long time. So we'd love for you to share with the audience. So what's your entrepreneurial journey been like thus far?
Yeah, so it's been really amazing. And with Rising Starters, I worked with a team of 3 other people. And so I focused mainly on my part of the presentation, and I learned a lot about my specific section. But with this program, I really learned about all the different aspects and was able to work on designing and coming up with the idea all from the start, which was really a nice and a great learning experience.
I love it. Yeah, any thoughts or questions for Gersa? Yeah, I have a quick one again for you, Gersa. Kind of like Miss Jennifer Anderson did ask Kate, but I have the same kind of question for you. So who could you imagine being on your advisory board or your board of directors for the nonprofit?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we have a software engineer for the coding part, and then probably also someone who has a job in marketing and knows the marketing side of things, as well as a teacher to help with the like standardized testing and academic stuff. Probably a counselor to help with the mental health stuff. And then if need be, we'd add more people, but those are the 4 main positions we have.
Thanks for clarifying. I would encourage you maybe think about students, right? Even if it's 1 or 2, but just to have that student perspective, I think would be really beneficial. This is great. Any other thoughts for Gersa? That's a good question. Yeah, do you see tying to other apps like Calm?
I'm not sure of other apps that are like, I know Khan Academy has like the whole standardized testing and stuff, but they have milestones rather than like breaks. And I know for me personally, I would just keep going and I wouldn't necessarily take breaks, which is I think a problem all my friends also do. So I know like those are similar websites in terms of academics, but in terms of like the taking breaks part, I don't see any other websites like that are similar.
I agree with Reiko, Drake Cortez. Yeah, thinking about wearables. Yeah, you know, any kind of merch or anything, but I think this could be like a really big brand in the movement. You could have teens actually being the brand ambassadors for this and talking about their success stories and how your site made them way less stressed, do better on their testing, things like that. I love it. And you went a little bit into your own personal story with it too, but I want to ask you more about that, right? Because I know you do a lot of activities outside of school and things. And yeah, it's like, what's more of your personal connection? Like, why this particular project?
So I was a junior this past year, so everything was online, and I also took all my standardized tests this year, and I practiced for those online. So with everything being virtual, I was just constantly sitting in front of my laptop and like studying and or doing like programs and stuff. So I figured if the kids are sitting in front of their laptop, they might as well like have breaks built in to kind of help with, even if it's still in front of a screen, it's more relaxing than just work.
So I agree. Yeah, I think you're speaking for all the teams in that regard. You know, it's just a very challenging year, and you guys need this. I just think it's so timely. So 2021 needed. This is excellent. Well, That would conclude our, oh wait, I think we have one more thing. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, people are saying this is very relevant, especially with like smartphone addictions, and it's something different. You know, it's not totally moving people offline, obviously, because it's a site, but it's getting them to do something different when they're online, which is really amazing. Yep, Jennifer had a great idea too around B Corps and certifications around this stuff. Work-life balance. BB said you could add some music to it. Yeah. There's a lot you could do. I totally see it as like a fun thing, right? It's not like, even though solving a problem, right? If it's being marketed more as like, this is fun and enjoyable as a de-stressor versus like, here are a bunch of things you need to do to not be stressed. You know what I mean? This is wonderful. Well, again, that concludes the formal part of these presentations. So I would love to first of all give all the students a big round of applause, some emojis thrown in the air. This is incredible, guys. Every single person did an outstanding job today. And before we go, I would just like to hear a little bit more from the students. What was your experience like, again, going through really a boot camp, right? We really did have 4 sessions with just us. And then today, we met for a half hour to review some things, and then it was lights, camera, action for you, being recorded in front of your family and friends. So what was that like?
It was pretty interesting, pretty fun too. It was like cramped, but then not cramped.
I agree, Vivi. Yeah, definitely moments, right, where you're like, oh my God, we're doing monetization and management today. It was crammed.
I thought it was good because we got some nice feedback from people.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Thomas.
Oh, hey everyone! Congratulations again. I just had a quick question, just out of curiosity, as a local Philly high school and high school grad myself. I was just wondering which high schools everybody was from that presented today. So I'm a Frankfurt High School graduate from Northeast Philly.
I'm from SCH, Springside Chestnut Hill Academy.
I'm from the Friend Central School in Wynwood.
I'm from Springford High School.
I'm also from Springside Chestnut Hill.
I'm also from Friend Central School in Wynwood. Well, I'm going there. I went to the lower school and I'm going to the upper school.
I'm actually from New Jersey. So I go to Ridge High School in New Jersey.
Nice. Awesome.
I go to Roman Catholic High School.
Well, that's really cool. It's it's fun to see folks from regional high schools here and from the wider region from New Jersey as well. We're all one tri-state family.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, we thought it was very interesting how localized this camp was. Because like last year we had somebody from the Czech Republic, and it was definitely broader, but this year was like everybody was in the tri-state. Very interesting.
And Roger, it's Liza. I had that late breaking comment. I know it's a little on the late side, but I enjoyed that last presentation, and someone who's been in education particularly enjoyed it. But I do believe it has the potential to kind of shift our thinking about testing generally. And I hope that is part of the aim.
Amen to that. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we need a shift in it. This will help a lot. Wow. This is awesome for students too. Do you guys feel like between my coaching yesterday and then hearing from so many awesome audience members today, are you guys starting to see your projects a little bit differently? Are you getting more confidence? Kind of speak to us about what the feedback has done for you so far.
Well, I kind of like just basically learned what an interpreter is, because my mom's like, you're just gonna go to this class. I'm like, okay, and now I have an entire project idea. So that's that.
I love that. And what about for students too who like do this a lot, right? So I'm thinking, Gross Route, you do this a lot outside of your classroom. I know Delaney, you do it in your class at SCH. Yeah, how is, again, getting this kind of feedback during the summer really changed your thinking or confirmed some stuff for you?
Yeah, I think yesterday that we had the chance to like present our presentations before today, it definitely gave me more confidence going into like the real presentation today. Also, I think I'm just like surprised at how much I did learn in such a short amount of time. I think this was super helpful, and like I'll definitely use the skills I learned going into like, because I'm definitely going to continue working on the Epiphone. So I think these pitching skills will help in the real world.
It makes me really happy to hear. Here we spent a lot of time on the pitch, right? This whole camp is actually a startup pitch camp, but the purpose of it is to make you a master at that, right? So we talked about how, you know, if you're an entrepreneur or not, you can go into life, college, career with these skills, right? Being able to pitch and articulate your ideas in a really passionate way. It's going to serve you guys well beyond this. So yeah, I'm just so impressed. I think you're all ready for a TED Talk, really. Like, you guys are a very, very high level to be middle school and high school.
I personally have been a part of many economics class and stuff like that, but this is the first one that's ever actually given me hands-on experience. Most of the places I've gone to have just been theoretical, like, look at this graph. That's unfortunate that people are in debt, moving on. But this is the first one that's ever actually like told me how to make a pitch and explained to me and like hands-on experience how to do this kind of stuff. And that's something I'm very, very excited to pursue in the future.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Kate. Yeah, and we said this is just the beginning, right? I tell all the students and the families, right? This is, now you guys are part of our alumni base, like you are a part of the closed school. And then we're just really starting our relationship together, right? So we have rising starters and, you know, campus tours and visits and things like that. So you guys are all a part of the closed school family. And we just hope to stay in touch and really, you know, solidify our relationship together. But again, I would like to thank all the parents who are on this call just for purchasing a seat for your child to be here and encouraging them along the way. Again, to all my colleagues, you guys all make this possible, right? It's very much a team effort. And to the students, again, we would not be here without you, and you really, really make this work very enjoyable. Every day I'm like smiling from ear to ear. All my friends are like, oh, it must be a camp week. And you guys make this stuff really powerful for all the adults here. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everybody enjoys their summer, that you guys are all safe, rest up, and get ready to come back in full force this school year, right? And keep making change. Thanks to stay in touch with me, with the rest of the closed school team. And take care, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Great job, everyone.
Roger.
Thank
Great
you.
job, everyone.
Thank you so much.